It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Now moving on to the 5-step approach to the market. Now this is pretty much just this way of teaching us, I guess, right? So I may have already touched up on in the introduction video that was recorded previously, but this one's going to go a bit more in depth, and I'm actually going to make it simplified. So as you can see, you got the determinate present position and probable future of the trend market, and I'm just going to simplify it. So for example, determine a trend, right? So it's just going to very simplify it, and yeah. So Wyckoff also developed the 5-step approach to the market, as we know, and that is based on his many principles and techniques. And in short, that just essentially means that this approach may be seen as a way to put his teachings into practice. Okay, and yeah, so let's jump into it. So step 1 is to determine the trend. So you got to ask yourself, what is the current trend and where is it likely to go? How is the relation between the supply and demand? Step 2, determine the asset's strength. So how strong is the asset in relation to the market? Are they moving in a similar or opposite fashion? So for example, is pound yen trading in a plus positive percentage, or negative positive percentage, or whatever, right? Step 3, look for assets with sufficient course. Now, are there enough reasons to enter a position? Is the course strong enough that makes the potential rewards affect with the risks? And then step 4, we have determine how likely is the move. So is this asset ready to move? What is its position with the bigger trend? What do price and the volume suggest? And this step often involves the use of Wyckoff's buying and selling tests, right? Step 5, time your entry. The last step is all about timing. It usually involves analyzing the stock in comparison of the general market. So for example, the trader can compare the price action of a stock in relation to the S&P 500 index. Depending on their position with the individual Wyckoff schematic, such an analysis may provide insights into the next movements of the asset. Eventually, this facilitates with the establishment of a good entry. Notably, this method works better with assets that move together with the general market or index, and in cryptocurrency markets, though this correlation isn't always present. So yeah. Now, before I end the video, I'm going to just throw this one in here because why not? So this is sort of like my closing thoughts. So a summary of this whole sort of Wyckoff before we jump in how to actually identify it. Now, so yeah, let's jump into it. So to be honest, it's been almost a century since its creation, right? But the Wyckoff method is still widespread use today, right? It is certainly much more than a technical analysis indicator, as it encompasses the many principles, theories, and trading techniques. But in essence, the Wyckoff method allows traders, and even investors to make more logical decisions rather than acting out of emotions. The extensive work of Wyckoff provides traders and investors a series of tools for reducing risks and increasing their chance of success. Okay. Still, there is no foolproof technique when it comes to investing. One should always be wary of the risks, especially with the highly volatile cryptocurrency markets, to be honest, right? So yeah, it's a brilliant way to trade. But like I said in the past, Wyckoff videos, when you combine it with order blocks, it's going to be very one hell of a powerful technique to use in the markets. But yeah, that's been all the explaining side of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on the charts on the next video and just show you what I look for, and just show you a picture perfect example versus sort of a real life trade example, right? And then just throwing some Wyckoff trade recaps into the section as well, just so you fully understand it. And then I'll obviously tell you how to practice it and what you can do and how you can go by practicing the Wyckoff method. So yeah, it's been a good journey. Hope I explained everything, and that's pretty much it. Again, it's all just supply and demand. So the more we learn about supply and demand, essentially the better. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video, I guess.